Erik ten Hag has talked about latest Antony situation. We've got several injured players, but one player might make it to the match against Bayern Munich, and Manchester United has found its January transfer target, or at least the news are suggesting. We're going to talk about all of them in this video. Welcome back, United fans, to Always United, where today we have got huge updates to cover, and without any hesitation, right out of the gate, we want to talk about Antony. As Erik ten Hag has said, he has no idea when Antony will return to Manchester United, and he has explained that the Brazilian is disappointed to be away from the team as he addresses domestic abuse allegations. Erik ten Hag has revealed that Antony is disappointed by his current situation and admitted there is no end date when he might rejoin his Manchester United teammates. Antony is currently spending time away from the club while he addresses allegations of domestic abuse. The player also denied any wrongdoing, and he has not been arrested by the police yet, as you might also be aware of. The assault allegations were made by 3 separate women, including former partner Gabriella Cavallin, who has claimed the footballer assaulted her 4 times. The 23-year-old is inaccessible for the upcoming match against Bayern Munich after United and the player mutually agreed an indefinite leave of absence from the club. United manager Erik ten Hag was responsible for bringing Antony to the club in a £85 million deal with Ajax last year, has spoken out about the situation for the first time ahead of Saturday's Premier League encounter with Brighton, but revealed very little about the ongoing situation. The Dutchman admitted he has no idea when Antony will return to the club. However, ten Hag did reveal that he has spoken to the player and provided an update on Antony's condition. Ten Hag said, and I quote, "Of course, I've spoken to him. He is disappointed, but he's okay." Antony is expected to remain in Brazil for the time being while he tries to defend himself from allegations before returning to Manchester United. Meanwhile, Erik ten Hag will also have to deal with problems without fellow first-team winger Jadon Sancho, obviously, as you know, after the Englishman was ordered to train on his own. One other shocking update surfaced on the internet yesterday, talking about how these allegations started before Manchester United wanted to sign Antony. I know, it's pretty crazy. Apparently, Brazilian police were aware of the allegations against Antony, but for some reason, Manchester United's officials and people in charge were not updated before signing the player. Manchester United also released a statement online to clarify how they were not aware of the fact when they wanted to sign Antony. In my view, it's a little bit weird how Manchester United was not able to do any background check on the player. It might be because of the incompetence of the player in charge, but who knows? Definitely share your thoughts with us as to what you think the problem was when they wanted to sign him. Guys, before we move on, smash that like button if you want Manchester United to get a decent result against Bayern Munich. Consider subscribing to Always United as well for latest Manchester United news. Now, speaking of players who are not going to make it against Bayern Munich, we have to add a brand new name to the roster. Arjen van Bissaka has unfortunately picked up an injury and we won't be able to see the talented player on the pitch for a while. It is said that the player is ruled out for several weeks after sustaining an injury against Brighton. The player, if you remember, was brought off the bench in the 85th minute against Brighton, and it seems as if those few minutes made his injury even worse. It is a shame because defensive-wise, I believe he is better as opposed to Diego Dalot, but as things stand, Dalot will be the one to start against Bayern Munich. As for other injured players, Mason Mount, Rafael Varane and Kobe Mainoo are highly unlikely to accompany the team against Bayern Munich. Interestingly though, Sofian Amrabat has a slight chance to help the team in Munich. Ten Hag has hinted that the player might be able to recover from his injury in time, but it's not clear and it's not definite. We'll have to wait for further information to surface online. Now, in a situation like this, reports are suggesting that Manchester United is keeping a close eye on Napoli winger Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. It's Georgian name, and Georgian names are as hard as it gets. Published recently by Daily Mail, the report claims that Manchester United have been admirers of the Georgian player. The report also suggests that the Red Devils will only be able to land Kvaratskhelia on a loan move. Due to the FFP guidelines, the club will not be able to spend huge amount of money in the transfer market, and that is why a loan move for the 22-year-old may seem a viable approach. Now, you might be wondering why Manchester United is interested in the player. Well, the player had a terrific performance last season for Napoli as he was able to score 14 goals and provide 10 assists. He might be a good option since Ten Hag's hands are pretty much tied behind his back right now. Honestly, it really pains me to see Manchester United suffer from the exact same problems as last season. It looks as if nothing has changed. I believe if injured players can make a successful return, we might be able to see light at the end of the tunnel, but let's be honest, it's really difficult right now to stay optimistic optimistic when we hear Manchester United news. Hopefully things can change as quickly as it gets. But that is all the news we have got for you today, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. Consider subscribing to Always United for latest Manchester United news, and leave a like on this video if you found it informative. It can really support us on YouTube. Guys, definitely share your thoughts and takes on all the news that we talked about today. And if you're interested to hear more Manchester United news, here are 2 videos that you might find interesting. That is a wrap for me in this video. Until next time, take care of yourself.